Greetings from Borneo. Welcome to the Borneo Broadcast. It's been a while since I've said that. It's been a while since I've hosted my podcast. The Borneo Broadcast is back after such a long hiatus. This time, I've got one topic that's very near and dear to my heart to talk about on the Borneo Broadcast: food. Glorious, glorious food. I'm from the city of Kuching, Sarawak, in Malaysian Borneo. In my city, in my hometown, it can be considered a foodie paradise. And that's what I'm going to be talking about on this edition of the Borneo Broadcast. You see, I've always been on the lookout for places to eat where the atmosphere is great, where the service is good, and of course, where the food is excellent. And I'm glad to say that after a little bit of searching, I found one. I found a place right in the heart of the city. It's located in a street called Padungan. Over here we call it Jalan Padungan, which in Bahasa Malaysia literally means road or street. After eating there quite a few times, I finally decided to find out who the owner is and talk to the owner, because I really wanted to find out about the name of this place and also what inspired this person to start this business. The food and beverage business is a challenging one, so I thought I'm gonna do it. Finally, I did. I met the owner and I managed to do this interview, which actually we did right there at the cafe, right there at the establishment. And you'll hear a lot of street sounds because we were sitting right outside with traffic going by. You'll hear the sounds of this vibrant part of the city. So sit back, relax. This is the Borneo Broadcast. Welcome to a new edition of the Borneo Broadcast. I'm going to be talking about a particular place that I found right here in Kuching, in my city, that I really like. It's a restaurant in Padungan Street. If you're in Kuching, Padungan Street is one of the busiest streets because the street has everything from fruits to food and all sorts of businesses. There's even a hotel or a motel. It's called Drop In. It's very close. I would see this particular place and I just didn't know what it was because I would just pass by quite a few times, but I would never go in and never try it. So one day I did, and I really, really enjoyed the food. As we're talking to you right now, just outside the restaurant, and you can hear the atmosphere around us. This is Padungan Street, or as locally we would say, Jalan Padungan. With me right now, Liani Bujang. Liani, you are the owner of this establishment. First of all, tell us, how do I pronounce the name of this establishment correctly? Because I think before I actually went inside, I don't think I got it correctly. So for the benefit of everyone listening, how do you pronounce the name correctly?
This cafe is called Entangen, E-N-N-T-A, Ta, and then N-G-E-N, Ngen. So this is called Entangen. It's actually a Syrian language.
What does Entangen mean?
Entangen define a place where the community gather to talk, discuss, eating and play.
So it's very appropriate. Entangen is a place where you come to sit down, talk, have a good conversation, relax, and enjoy a good meal. So what inspired you to start Entangen?
As you can see, now we have a lots of modern restaurant in Kuching. So it's create a subculture where people, especially youngster, are spending on this place. Example like Starbucks, Nando's, Bing's, those place, the youngster go and lepak that place. So this culture should make us worry as our traditional food will vanish during our time. So therefore, we determined to preserve our food and culture through opening up this small little cafe. It's not just focused on surviving as a cafe, but also of our tribal food.
You brought up a good point there. It's about preserving the local culture. A lot of people, when they start restaurants or cafes, they would go the safe route by preparing Western food because that'll be easier. Why did you choose to serve traditional cuisine here?
Let me elaborate about Entangen Cafe. Not everybody dare to be different, to open up a cafe like you said just now, open a Western cuisine. So we know we are not going to make money out of this cafe. Our objective is clear. Our main objective is to preserve our native food, rebranding it and improve it. So we are just like a little fighter, same as our forefather. So which is they said agi hidup agi nglaban. Normally we hear it before, right? But in the different way, if we fail, at least we try, and part of the history of Dayak food, and we had shown that the spirit of our great grandparents. to preserve our heritage and the tradition of Dayak.
Now, as you mentioned, it's Dayak food. So is it particularly from, let's say, the Bidayu community, or is it Iban, or is it Orang Ulu, or is it a mixture?
Most people will think Dayak food is only panso, pork panso or chicken panso. In actual fact, as we know, Dayak has many sub-ethnic like Bidayu, Iban, Ulu, Kenyah, Kelabit, and etc. We have different way of doing our food, but not many differences. As for us, we are more to Bidayu and Iban because we are much alike. We also invented new hybrid menu. The example is like spaghetti with tapioca leaf, our pork rib, kampong style, and Dayak steak. So we also serving a mixture of Dayak food with modern twists.
Is it difficult nowadays to be able to maintain a menu like this where you have traditional food? I mean, you have things like tapioca leaves, as you mentioned. You have midin with tuak, which you must try. Whoever's listening right now, you must try it. This is one of my favorites. So, is it difficult to maintain a menu like this?
It's quite difficult because we need to source everywhere, like the wet market in Kuching. We have to find the midin especially. And the most difficult part is tempoyak. Because tempoyak, like we know, is a season fruit. We only can get it once a year. When the season comes, we have to keep the durian to preserve it, to make it fermented durian so that we can sell it here.
Now let's talk about guests who come to your cafe and try the food. Overall, what is the response like when they try the food for the first time? What do they tell you?
It's a tough one for the customer feedback. We don't have that statistic. We didn't put in a Microsoft, okay, how many percent say nice, how many percent say I don't like it. However, we can refer to our Facebook page, okay, and other social media platform, and some direct guests, most of the guests here, give positive feedback to us. They love our food, they like our method, and they like our determination. So some of them also told us that our food are great, but not many people know our place.
One thing I like, Lenny, is that the look of the place and also the feel. One thing I like is that you use old-fashioned plates, you use old-fashioned cups, and then the food that you serve, it reminds me of home cooking. How did you come up with this concept?
I would say the idea is already there. We want to bring back the memory. So it's out of ancestors' idea. What we do is bringing up the method which almost forgotten. For instance, the young generation now, they don't know what kopi panso tastes. Have you tried the kopi panso?
Not yet.
Before? Or you should try it. Maybe don't know what is the original taste of chicken panso, pork panso, or even the rice in bamboo. So you know why? Because there are many modern methods that are used to serve that precious dish, such as the bamboo dish just now. Therefore, we try hard to let people know the old way. The way is to preserve the taste, the traditional, the original Dayak food. We use bamboo to serve all the food, and for the plate and cup, and as you can see, so it's a nostalgic moment. As our generation, I guess, the last one to see those things. Not the youngster now. They don't know we used before, previously. So it's a joy to see people say it's nostalgic. We bring back the memory for them so that they can think, wow. Some of the customers say, last time mommy used this, grandma used this to feed us, our sibling. That plate is very nostalgic to the customer. Yeah.
I think that adds to the experience of eating here, of enjoying the cuisine here. Your customers, majority, are they local, or do you have a balance between the locals and also tourists coming as well?
At first, our customer is foreigner because at Padungan Street we have a lot of motel, backpackers, so lots of them are from different country. They enjoy our food here. But now we established almost 1 year, so we have it balanced already. But most of the customer here is Chinese.
Is that surprising for you that you have a balance now? You started out with more tourists coming, and now most of your customers are from the Chinese community. Is that a surprise?
I'm quite surprised before because I thought open up a Dayak cafe, most of the customer will be Dayak. But yeah, I am wrong because most of our regular customer is Chinese. Like I said just now, it's not statistic, but I can count. Like 1 week, maybe only 1 or 2 Dayak people. Maybe they think that, oh, I am Dayak, I can cook better than you. Maybe, we don't know. But Chinese, they never try it at home. They want to try something different. So that's why they came here.
For anyone who's never been to Entangen and they would like to try something different while they're here in Kuching, in the land of the Hornbills, what's your recommendation? Or how can they find out more about Entangen before coming here?
Okay, you can call me directly by phone number or WhatsApp me. Okay, my phone number is 016 at 777 659 or through our Facebook page, Entangen the Original Dayak Taste. The menu that you should try at our place is, first of all, you should try the bamboo dish, which is bamboo pork, bamboo chicken, or even the bamboo drink. So we have choices like coffee or tea. And then the next one, if you want to try something different, you can try our spaghetti with tapioca leaf. We invent it ourselves. And then next one, maybe you can try the smoked pork, because a lot of customer here, especially the Chinese regular customer, they really love to eat the smoked pork.
In the future, will you be doing any addition to the menu, something new, something different, or maybe even bringing more traditional Dayak cuisine and adding it to your menu?
We will have monthly and quarterly new product. We will change every quarterly so that people will feel not, same only the product, the menu is same only, I don't want to come here next time. So we have to create a new menu. So last year our minister had told that the Dayak food and beverage prayer to stay competitive. Actually a lot of Dayak food, Dayak cafe in Kuching. So here we are, we take the challenge. So our direction is to invent a new menu with Dayak element. So we can't tell you now, but it will be not surprise for you. Okay, the example now we have spaghetti with tapioca leaf, I mentioned earlier. And then next is the pork rib Dayak style. And then we have the pork steak. And the next one might be a tom yum with pork.
The only way to find out what that's going to be like, what that menu is going to be like, is to pay Entangen a visit. For the benefit of anyone who would like to find out more, where exactly is Entangen located here in the city of Kuching?
Entangen Cafe is located at Padungan Street, same row with police station. If you know the famous chicken rice and the sao rou, Wanan Cafe, the place is just next to the Wanan Cafe. And we are beside drop-in and Wawasan Majuria Sendirian Berhad, which is selling the big bike, mechanic fixing the bike.
And of course, near Padungan Street, or Jalan Padungan as we say, is a huge cat statue. So if you can find the cat statue, you know you're in the right place.
Yeah, exactly. Further down, if you know the Balai Police, the police station, people sometimes they will come here to Padungan Street, they will buy the bipang. People say bipang is the one of the famous food. You should get it in Kuching. So if you know that place, you have to go further down toward the big cat statue, then you can find our place.
One thing unique about this particular area here in Kuching is that you can find a lot of items in terms of the traditional food items. And the one place that you should try out here is Entangen. Liani, I'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me here on the Borneo Broadcast. Anything to say to our listeners listening to the broadcast about coming by and paying you guys a visit at Entangen?
I really hope to see new faces come visit us at Entangen Cafe. If I'm not here, I leave something here to my beloved guests. You can have my handmade free dessert for all of my customers who come to Entangen. Our operation time is Tuesday until Sunday. Lunch is 11 until 3, and then we will break. Continue again at 6 until 11 at night. However, we will extend our operation hour during weekend. For those who want to relax, who want to drink, we have beer, we have tuak, and you can bring our tuak home. Because we have a lot of tourists bring the tuak home to Australia, to Japan, and more places.
Once again, Lenny, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
That's my conversation with Liani Bujang, the proprietor, the owner of Entangen. If you'd like to find out more about Entangen, whether you're from Kuching or from outside of Kuching, you can go to their Facebook page, look for Entangen Ruai, Entangen Ruai, Ruai, Entangen Ruai, and you'll be able to find out lots of information about their establishment, also the location, and you can find them on Instagram as well. Look for Entangen 1604. 1604. That's Entangen 1604. Thank you for joining me for this edition of the Borneo Broadcast. For future editions of my podcast, look for me on Twitter. That's Borneo Broadcaster. Check my Twitter account for information. Once again, thank you for listening, and I hope to have your company again the next time for the next edition of the Borneo Broadcast. Until then, this is the Borneo Broadcaster, signing off for now.